Pay very close attention, ladies and gentlemen, because we've been through this COVID-19 pandemic together, but now there is a new threat. Is there reason to be worried? Is there reason to be anxious by this thing called B117, which is a mutated form of the coronavirus which has emerged in the United Kingdom and led to a sudden spurt in cases there? There are many questions. Many countries, including India just a few hours ago, has suspended all international flights with the United Kingdom. That's how serious this mutation is. But is there also a lot of misinformation and exaggeration in our understanding of this mutation? I'm going to try and answer all of those questions. But first, what is this new strain? I want to make it as clear as possible with as little innuendo and speculation as possible, because this, after all, is something that involves your health and mine and that of millions of others in this world. A new COVID strain has emerged in the United Kingdom. UK officials say that this new strain is known as B117 of the coronavirus and is one of the mutating strains of the same virus. It's the same virus with a mutating strain. It has an unusually large number of genetic changes, and apart from the UK, it has also been identified in Italy and some other parts of Europe, not yet in India. The strain is 70% more contagious than the baseline coronavirus. However, it may not actually be deadlier than the original strain. So far, there is no proof that it causes a serious infection, but may still be vulnerable to the vaccines. We're going to go into that a little deeper in just a moment. Well, this new COVID strain has forced British authorities to relock the country, including its capital, London. UK authorities have divided all areas into tiers. London and southeast England have been put under tier 4 curbs, which is a complete lockdown, full restrictions. Locals have been advised to stay indoors. In tier 4 areas, all non-essential retail services have been shut once again. Hairdressers, nail bars, indoor entertainment venues, gyms, swimming pools, all completely shut now in tier 4 areas of England. The indoor sports courts and dance studios are also closed. The people are not allowed to meet unless necessary, and leaving the tier 4 area to travel abroad is prohibited unless necessary. No weddings or civil partnership ceremonies are being allowed in these areas. This is very, very, very strict, and there's absolutely no room for error. That's the reason why this tier system has been put into place in the UK. Situation is so serious, ladies and gentlemen, that flights have already been banned by several countries, including India, to and from the United Kingdom. Yesterday and day before, several European countries had already taken that step, and now India has also taken a similar step. Let's just show you the information that we have right now. Netherlands. These are the countries that have already banned flights to and from the UK. Netherlands, Canada, Saudi Arabia, India, of course, just a few hours ago. And several more countries are expected to similarly suspend those flights very, very shortly. Almost all the major countries of Europe have already taken that stand, because obviously with this new mutation, the possibility of those flights bringing in infected persons is extremely high, as has been demonstrated already by the first COVID-19 outbreak. We've spoken to India's Civil Aviation Minister on the ban that has just been imposed. Poulomi Saha spoke to him and asked him the questions. Here's what India's Civil Aviation Minister has just said.
After carefully considering all facts, there are reports from the United Kingdom. There are statements made by senior political leaders, including the British Health Secretary, that this new virus strain, which has been reported, is spreading at an alarming rate. Therefore, we have decided, starting from 23:59 hours Tuesday, 22nd December, all flights to and from the United Kingdom will be temporarily suspended till 31st December of this year. Between now and then, those who are in the pipeline will be subjected to a 100% mandatory RT-PCR test. Those who test positive will have to be undergoing 7 days institutional quarantine. Even those who are negative, who don't have any symptoms will be subjected to medical monitoring. The earlier procedure of passengers wanting to travel, taking an RT-PCR test 72 hours prior to undertaking the journey, that will no longer be considered valid. Now, at all points of entry in India, 100% compulsory RT-PCR tests will be made mandatory.
So thank you so much for speaking to India today. You've taken a big and a very significant decision right now, just a short while ago, in view of the new strain of the COVID virus being discovered in the United Kingdom. For the benefit of our viewers, sir, can you just spell it out?
We have decided that effective from 23:59 hours tomorrow, Tuesday, the 22nd December, there will be a temporary suspension of all flights to and from the United Kingdom till 31st December 2020. Also in the interim, that is starting with immediate effect, all passengers coming from the UK on flights that land here between the time of the decision and the temporary suspension coming into effect will be subjected 100% to a mandatory RT-PCR test. The earlier procedure that passengers could upload their RT-PCR reports on tests undertaken within 72 hours will no longer be valid, because if there is a new strain and if symptoms are there, if a passenger has picked up the virus in the, let's say, in the period between 72 hours and now, then that no purpose will be served with the other report. So 100% there will be mandatory RT-PCR tests conducted on all passengers arriving between now and 23:59 hours tomorrow. There will also be a complete suspension of flights.
Well, India is on alert after this new COVID strain has been found in the United Kingdom, leading to tough restrictions in UK cities. The Union Health Ministry held an urgent meeting just a short while ago to discuss the emergence of this coronavirus strain identified as B117. The Joint Monitoring Group of the Health Ministry has discussed this new mutated version of the coronavirus. Meanwhile, amidst the panic, Union Health Minister called it an imaginary situation, which is quite strange. He assured that there is no need to create panic, which he's right about, as the government is closely monitoring the situation. There is nothing imaginary about this situation.
अभी ये सब इमेजिनरी सिचुएशंस, इमेजिनरी बातें, इमेजिनरी पैनिक, इन सब के अंदर आप अपने आप को मत उलझाइए। सरकार हर बात के लिए पूरी तरह से सजग है और जैसे पिछले एक साल में आपने देखा कि सरकार ने आवश्यकता के अनुरूप जनता के हितों की रक्षा करने के लिए जो जिस समय पर आवश्यकता किया, वो सारी चीज़ें सरकार देख रही है।